Hello! Hey guys, my name is Lindy. I'm from my study abroad to living in France for over 5 years. I've definitely been lucky enough to travel all over Europe. And I must say, though I obviously haven't traveled everywhere yet, but for my long list, I've picked just a few places that are super cool and must visits. So before I share my list, I do have a little bit of a criteria. These cities are not only full of culture, great food, but are accessible and walkable, offer great landscape and great shots for photographers, as well as they're just like beautiful cities. And I feel like calm and very welcomed and when I visit these places. Venice. Okay, so this city will always make my top list. It's just so beautiful everywhere you go. I think of when people can be like disappointed coming to Paris because it's not as like romantic as they thought, or it's dirtier than they imagined, but no, Venice is truly that beautiful. There's like the canals, bright colors. There's this charming like jazz bar feeling of like fog that covers the city at night due to the sea. The only negative I would say is because the streets are so narrow. One, using your phone for navigating is quite tricky. And two, I would never ever visit in the summer because with all the tourists, it gets way too overcrowded, hard to navigate. And I recommend going in the winter when you can like truly take time to explore and enjoy yummy cicchetti and just take in the beauty that this place has to offer. So Menton definitely makes the list because of its location, beautiful colors, and weather. The markets, and I mean, come on, you're in the south of France. The Vieille Ville, or Old Town, is just so magical. You feel like you've stepped into Italy with its charming and steep, tucked away streets. And there's this beautiful view that looks over the city as well as the sea from the cemetery. One negative might be parking. It's quite expensive and sometimes difficult to find, but you could always come by train via the train station. It's also great for easy access to nearby towns. You can visit Monaco, Cannes, Nice, Grasse, and some other cool cities nearby. And I actually already have a video on my channel, I'll link it above, showing some of the specialties of this region, as well as more specific spots if you're starting to plan a trip there. Alright, so I add this city because this was one of my first solo travel trips. It was really life-changing seeing I didn't speak the language, so it was like an added challenge, but it showed me how capable we really are. The city has a really cool vibe. You can really feel its history throughout the city from communism up until 1989, mixed with more modern day. There's great cafes, and the people are so kind. I found it to be super accessible by foot, but they also have a well-developed metro system, and I remember that in itself was a cool thing to experience. It's so far underground, it almost feels like you're traveling to the inside of the earth. Amsterdam. So the city is super picturesque and has a different feel from other places in Europe. People don't stare here. And I say that because in France it's almost like a pastime to sit at a cafe and people watch. But in Amsterdam, people just kind of do their own thing. The canals are beautiful, they have trams that are easy to take, and it's pretty walkable as well. And if not by foot, there's also bikes everywhere. And yes, this is not unique to just Amsterdam, this is in Germany and other European countries, but you really notice it in Amsterdam as well. FREIBURG! Alright, so I love this city. This is a recent discovery as I visited only a few months ago, but I loved it. It's actually known as like the sunniest city in Germany, so offers some great weather. It's really great to stroll around, take photos, enjoy quality food. It's a student-friendly city, and there are also bikes everywhere here. It definitely has a German vibe, but it's not far from France. You might hear a little bit of French when you're there as well. There's a tram system that's well developed. It's easy to get around. And it also offers a gorgeous view over the city and this valley area. And you can sit in the Biergarten and have this beautiful view.
I got a ringing in my head and I wish it would stop. I got too many people here trying to watch me get off. You think you're pretty cause you're smart, well look at you caught. Just an easy motherfucker wasting all that he's got. You give me pretty little things and now you're gone. I get sick in the basement when you're gone. I start walking in the graveyards when you're gone. I start to smile for the camera and now you're gone.
SOFIA, Bulgaria. So I actually have a full video already on this city if you want to hear more in depth. But I'd say some of the highlights include this like old school Harry Potter train to get there. The specialty being like this delicious creamy Bulgarian yogurt. And it's kind of like has like a cheese consistency, cheese spread. And another unique thing is their klek shops, meaning squats. So they're kind of like 5 and dime corner stores, but they're actually built underground and only have a window to shop from the sidewalk. So you like squat down and pick out what you want and tell the vendor from the window. So it's basically like a sidewalk drive-through. This comes from after the fall of communism in the early 1990s. It was more expensive to rent a storefront than a basement. So Bulgarians got smart and to make it work financially.
Pretty little things and now you're gone. I get sick in the basement when you're gone. I start walking in the graveyards when you're gone.
So Alsace is not a city per se, but it's a French region and it's amazing. It's such a gorgeous region and has like a different feel from a lot of places in France. It shares its border with Germany, and there's obviously lots of history between France and Germany that took place in this region. You can see this history from the Alsatian dialect, which is like a mix of French and German, kind of. Though of course they do speak French there. There's the timber houses, the food, there's like Flammkuchen or tarte flambée, there's Kugelhopf, and just like so much German influence as well. And some of my favorite spots are Strasbourg, as well as these 2 adorable villages called Ugtheim and Rikvier. So definitely check those out if you're in that region. So This list was super hard to make because I do truly find something magical or cool about each place I visit. I could easily add places in Italy and Portugal. I think of Copenhagen, Edinburgh, Dublin, and again, like this list could go on. As you know, like travel is such a huge passion of mine, and I can't wait to eventually update this list once I'm able to explore and experience even more of Europe and the world. Honestly, I did a video that you guys seem to enjoy where I did my top places in just France. So check that out if you're interested, and if you have any travel plans soon, let me know your thoughts below on some of your favorite places to travel to. And once again, thanks so much for watching. Gros bisous et à la prochaine. Salut!